On the line. Match starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
And the first 15 seconds of the matches are programmed by the human players. In the first 15 seconds, they can gain 3 points for each bot that leaves their starting position. They can also gain increased points in autonomous for scoring points on the reef. All right, they can score anywhere from 3 to 7 in autonomous. Now, the human players have control of the robots, the remote operated vehicles under the sea. The water is crystal clear today. We can see Walton Robotics placing that piece of coral on top of the reef for 5 points right now as we're in match number 1. We have just under 2 minutes left to go as 94-77, the Lambda team spins around. They're at the reef zone. They're looking to pick up algae off of the reef, and they've done that, placed it down on the ocean floor for harvesting later on. 90-57 fighting the ocean currents as they look to try to get the coral reef rebuilt. 94-77, the Lambda team again looking for another piece of algae to process later on. They're pulling it off of the reef. They're cleaning the reef right now as a piece of algae has been processed in the side and now is up into the barge for the Blue Alliance. That's 4 points apiece as they do that. 94-77 has algae in their position, launches it up over the top of the ocean waves into the barge for 4 points. Is another 4 points by the human player on the side of the barge. It's 55-22 in favor of the Red Alliance right now. Is 29-74. The Walton Robotics team scores in the middle of the reef. That was worth 4 points right there. All right, there's another piece of algae being scored up there on the barge for the Blue Alliance. We're down to 51 seconds left to go as they can score 2 points on the trough underneath the reef. They can also score 3 points on the level 2 branch, the lower branch in the middle. They get 4 points. And if they can score all the way atop the reef, they get 5 points during the teleop period where the human players have control. On the side of the field, you'll see some human players feeding coral to the box. It travels down a chute from the barge level to the bots on the bottom of the sea. Now you hear that sign that indicates that there's less than 20 seconds left to go. That's the end game. That's where the robots can head towards their barge zones and come up off of the surface of the ocean floor, gaining more points for their alliance if they can successfully do it. At 17:46, the auto team is trying to right now. They come off of the surface of the ocean floor. If they can remain there, they'll gain 12 points for the Blue Alliance as it's 107-42 at the end of the match. But what we'll have to wait for is look up on the big screen behind me or watch online. You'll be able to see fish being released onto the coral reef. The color of that fish tells us who was victorious in that match, and then we'll be able to give you the final score. All right, here we go. Let's watch the big screen. Let's see who it is. They're going to release the fish out onto the reef, and it is the Red Alliance. The fish are swimming. They're red in color. 111-48. 111, the new high score for the event this weekend. And now, please pay attention to the big screen as we have a short video about what this game is and how to play it.